everyone, welcome back to my YouTube. So this is my husband and I setting up for my most recent market. This was on Saturday the 23rd. This was in a downtown area. The weather was beautiful and we were setting up. It was so nice. I am so thankful for my husband's help. It makes setting up that tent so much easier. But yeah, now I'm just trying to rearrange and get everything nice as I can get it on my tables. I didn't end up having that shelf that I had wanted to, so I kind of was winging it. And my husband is here helping me place the plushies around. He says I nitpick too much, so he doesn't do much setting up, but he knows where certain items go. So we love him. We're appreciative of him. I had fully intended to record more during the actual market, but I forgot, and I'm not super comfortable filming myself yet out in public, but we're getting there. So there is one little clip that you will see here after this time lapse of me during the market, and it made me laugh, so I left it. It's not really informative at all. It just made me giggle, so maybe it'll make you giggle too of my awkwardness, but that's okay. But after that clip, I will be doing a market breakdown of everything that I made and how much money I made during the market and what my best sellers were, so stay tuned.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
It's market day. Say hi. Show you what we got here. So this is our display today. Husband is not for sale. I don't have as many larger items. And I had, my bins are kind of overfilled, so I kind of put them where they go beside it. And I tried to get my signs out. We're gonna try the keychains here. I didn't get that many more made. I don't even know if there's any new ones. I think just a couple. But my $15 bin is exploding, so we kind of extended it there. But yeah, this is what we got today. Back up here. We are in the downtown area, nice shaded park. So I totally forgot to be updating, but we have an hour left. I've sold 28 things. People are coming. So I'm back from my market. It is the night of the market, so it is Saturday night. I have everything that I sold here, so I'm gonna go over everything that I sold and my best sellers. Some of you may know, or you may have seen in the previous part of this video, I don't bring a bunch of the same items, so it's kind of hard to see what bestseller is, but there is items that I typically bring every time that do sell. So yeah, we're gonna go over, and this is for the most part a relative order of what they sold. I did have a couple instances where people bought back to back. They were all in my booth at the same time, so I didn't get a chance to write them down. But they're all in a relative order of what sold. And I am in a chair. Somebody mentioned in one of my videos that I shouldn't sit on the floor. That's what's comfortable. It's what's easy. The way my camera is sitting, I had to like rig it up to get it up this high where you're not just looking at my belly. So I am sitting in a chair. They suggested it be cute. This chair is not cute. It's just a gaming chair. But we're sitting in a chair. And my yarn is not a complete wreck. So 2 out of 3. We'll call that a win. But anywho, so this market was the same one I did last time. It is from 9 to 2, and it's in a downtown area. There is 2 parts to this market. There is the original market, which is very, very popular, been around for 10 plus years. It is so busy all the time. They decided to expand to a different park about 3 blocks down, and on the same street, just a little farther down. This park, I actually prefer it because it's way more open. The other one is like one sidewalk, and you feel bad stopping at a booth because it's so crowded. You're like blocking the sidewalk. So this one, it's a huge, big square, and everyone's all spread out, and it's like a double sidewalk. So it's twice as wide, and we are way more spread out. All the other ones are like on a strip, and there's just booth. This one's like a square, and you're kind of, there's, I don't know, the sidewalk makes like a star and then meets in the middle. So it's way more spread out. It doesn't quite, it's not as busy. I'd say it's about half as busy, which is unfortunate for all the vendors, but it's slowly picking up speed. They started the second part, I think maybe in March or April. And that's why I was able to get in, because they are so full all the time. When they expanded it, they were able to allow more vendors to be there. But anyhow, let's get to what I sold. So first up, I sold one of my chickens. The second item that sold was a chicken, and I sell those for $18. And no one seemed to bat an eye at them. Everyone who came to my booth pretty much commented on the chickens. Everyone loved them. Next sold up was the little cow. It was that no-sew pattern that I tried that I didn't completely love. So I think I'm going to try it again to make another one. Just because once I get it down, it should be easy. Just, I don't know, cows with color changes, I think, take longer than typical items. But I sold him for $15. And then I sold one of the, I wish I had some of the stuff with me, but I sold one of the kitties, one of the no-sew kitties in, next for $15. Then after that, I sold a mini turtle for $12. After that, I sold the Hugger caterpillar. It was a little, like, 1-year-old little girl, and she was so, compared to my toddler, my son is 17 months, he would have like destroyed my whole booth in like a minute. She put her daughter down, and she was so well behaved, and she took that little caterpillar and just held it and hugged it the whole entire time. Didn't throw it. My son picks up stuff and just throws it. I don't know if it's just because I don't know, just different temperaments in kids, you never know. But the caterpillar was $15, and then the other daughter got a little mini octo. Then I sold a mini pumpkin, and that was the mint color. So those first 7 items were 7 items from my video that I posted of no-sew crochet patterns. So we will call that a win on that video. And then I sold a scrunchie. This little girl really wanted something, and my scrunchies are the cheapest thing, so she was super happy about it. And then I sold a bee keychain for $10. Then I sold an octo, and they really wanted a keychain, so I said I could add a keychain for $1. So that sold for $6. And then I sold a Whimsy Bubs, which was the dino with a little mushroom hat. I sold him for $18. Then a little mini triceratops for $15. then a Mush Crush for 15, then the pumpkin with, or not the pumpkin, the mallard with the pumpkin hat that's removable. This girl was so cute. I mean, she was like in her 20s, but she loved it. Her friend bought it for her. And then I had a lady come up to my booth wanting, she had a friend or her daughter is pregnant, having a baby, and they're doing like a safari theme. And all I had was that elephant lovey that had purple and white stripes. And she was going to buy that one, and then we were talking about, she's like, well, can you do other colors? And I was like, yeah. So I actually ended up, they weren't even local either, so I ended up went ahead and took her order, and we pointed out what kind of yarn color she wants, and I had her send me a message on Instagram with her address and an email so I can get a hold of her if for some reason she didn't, and she gave me her phone number, so I have plenty of ways to contact her. But that way it would make it easy to keep track, and I could find her. But she ended up ordering her an elephant lovey, and I had her pay there. So I've had tons of people love the loveys, and they're like, I want different colors, or I want a different animal. And I'm like, okay, reach out. And most of the people do not contact you after. They take your card and then you never hear from them again. But I haven't offered in the past, but today I was like, well, why don't I go ahead and, make it easy. And if you go ahead and pay today, then, I'll get started on it as soon as I, get to your name on my list of orders. So, which I said a baby shower was in November. So I have, I'll be able to get that done in the next couple weeks. So that was cool. And then I just have to ship it to her. Then after that and the elephant lovey was $45. The pumpkin mallard I sold for $15. I don't remember if I said that or not. And then after that was the wizard frog. So it was a little leggy froggy with a wizard costume. So it was so cute. That was $18. I sell my leggy froggies for $15, and then since it had the wizard costume on, I put a couple extra dollars. Then after that was the whale keychain for $10. After that was a little mini appa, and I think it was a no-sew little pattern. It turned out cute. It could have definitely been cuter. I think the details could have been changed or added some more details to it. But I sold him for $15. Then I sold a mini mushy. So that was one of the little mini chunky boys. So the chunky boy mushroom pattern, but it was a smaller version of that. So I sold that for $10. Then I sold a little mini mallard. That was one of those fluffy little mini mallard patterns. For $10 as well. And then a mini triceratops for $12. Sorry, I said triceratops earlier, and those I have for $12, not $15. I lied. And then I sold my jumbo Frankie the Fungi for $42, and then that person also bought a chicken, so that was super cool. That was my large item besides that lovey. Otherwise, everything else that sold was $18 or less, so keep that in mind when you're market prepping. And then I sold a mini octo for $5, and then I sold a fidget pop for $12. I may have said I sold those for $15, but I don't. I sold them for $12 because I had the sign written from a couple markets ago, and it says $12, so I'm just losing my mind apparently. And then I sold a pumpkin ghost and a leggy frog. Both of those were $15. That was actually the first person I had that said it was so cute. She was like, I actually came because you were here. I came specifically for you. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Because I've never had that happen before. Besides like an actual person that I know, like a friend of mine, So she had seen that I posted on my social media that I was going to be there. So she came to the market specifically to buy something from me. So that was super cool. Her sister had bought something from me from the first time I was at this specific market. So that's super cool to, you know, kind of be sought after, you know, by word of mouth. And then after that, I sold a mini axolotl for 15, a baby froggy keychain, another mini axolotl sold for 15, and then a mini sloth sold for 15, and then a mini octo sold for 5. So this time around, we sold 33 things, which I think that, no, that's not the most I've sold at a market. I lied. But still a great market. I was kind of nervous because a lot of those happened in like a 1 hour span. A lot of those last ones. And everything I had been selling was, you know, 15, 18, 15, 18, and which is great, you know, I'm selling. But it doesn't really add up as quick versus the last time I was at this market. I don't know if you watched that video or not. You know, I sold like 3 or 4 large ticket items right in the middle of my market. So that kind of just, boom, gives you that confidence boost. And this one, I didn't really have that much large items. I had some like Halloween items, but not everybody wants Halloween stuff. Specifically, especially when you're spending that much money only to have it for a short period of time. So yeah, I still ended up doing pretty awesome despite all my items being $18 and under. So keep that in mind when you are market prepping. That seems to be the ticket price. I sold, the most items I sold were, most of them were $15 because the only $18 things I sold were the chickens and then that one Whimsy Bobs. Everything else was 15 and under, and most of the items I did sell were $15. But that ended up being a total of $474, and then the vendor fee was $30 to be there, and so that brings it out to $444. But I also bought a book from a vendor that was across from me. She bought something from me last time, so I went over there and checked it out today. She writes her own children's books and illustrates them. It is super cute. Let me show you. So here is the book that I bought, so you can look her up. I didn't get her social media. I'm sure you could find her if you look it up, but it's like, look how cute this little monster is. I'm like, I should try and crochet him because I have little green fluffy yarn. So this is one of her board books. I have a toddler. She has a ton of other cute books. She had a few board books, so I got this one, and then she had, I think, opposites and maybe colors. I'm not sure, but I figured every time I go, I can pick one up to get my son a little collection and support her. So yeah, this little monster is her like mascot. Not in all of her books, but a lot of her books. So yeah, I bought this, and it was only $10, so that's pretty good for a board book. And then my husband and I got coffee. And he bought a book, but he bought a book from the coffee store he went to. It's a little librarian coffee shop. So, oh, and I bought some soap from another vendor. But I needed the soap, so it wasn't just a frivolous purchase. So, minus all that, we'll just call it $400 because I don't even know how much my husband's book was. So, $400 profit, and we got a few little goodies along the way. It stinks because I was there by myself most of the time. My husband is doing his PhD, so he came home and did some homework while I was at the market. But I didn't get to walk around and check out all the vendors, so that's always a bummer because but then I also don't want to spend money, so I also like just want to be oblivious to what is out there, so I don't need it, you know, because I don't need it. I don't need stuff. Okay, so I wanted to go over my bestsellers because as I'm putting all this footage together, I realized I didn't do that. So I sold 11 items in the $15 range. So that was my most popular range, was a $15, not range, but items were $15 items. But for actual things that sold the most were the chickens. I sold 3 out of 4 of those. Had I had more, I think they would have sold because literally every person in my booth pointed at them and liked them. And I sold out of those. The first 2 items to sell were the chickens, so that only left me with 2. And the third one sold pretty quickly as well. So I think if I would have had more or been able to make, if I made like 2 of each kind I had, I would have been able to replace it. So definitely gonna do that. I really like them out of the tweed yarn by Burnett Blanket. So I think I'm gonna pick up some other color options of that. So I can make more of them like that. And then I sold both the axolotls I brought. I only brought 2 of that style that was in my no-sew video by Crochet Grove. Had I had more, I'm pretty sure they would have sold because people had come and talked about axolotls, and I only ended up with one little blob one left, and it's just not as cute. And I had a few little kids pick that one up and end up choosing something else. So I think the axolotls would have sold more if I had them. And then the mini octos, of course, because they're my cheapest item besides scrunchies. So when a little kid has to have something, or a little toddler, you know, that's probably going to just destroy something, parents are like, it's $5. And I had one little boy that literally ran away with a little octo. It was so cute. He was so excited. He was probably like 2.5. I don't know. He was so, it was adorable. But I sold 4 out of 4 of those. I only had 4. And one of those I put on a keychain. So I think I'm gonna do a couple on keychains and maybe price them around $8 versus $5. And then, cause I don't think that's a huge jump from $5 to $10, cause I sell all my other keychains for $10. So maybe I'll have a different area for keychains or have 2 different spots. And then I sold 6 items for $10, so in the $10 range. So $10, $12, and $15 were the most popular. Obviously, like I said earlier, I sold 33 items and only 2 of them were over $18. So definitely focus on the smaller, cheaper items. I didn't have a huge variety of larger items that were not Halloween, so I think that would have helped if I had some like cows. Cows always sell well, so I'm gonna bring this pattern next time. This is a newer pattern I tried, and they take a lot less time, like maybe an hour and a half or so, 2 hours. I probably could get, if I batch make them, I probably could get them down to an hour and a half or so. Versus the pattern I was using by Ren Meow, I believe that's how you say it. Those were taking me like over 3 hours. So I just was getting frustrated with them because if you sew something on wrong, then you're adding in more and more time. And then I gotta embroider the eyes, which is another, 10 minutes or so. So I'm gonna try and do some more of these. These are for an order, but I have 2 of those up there. And when you do it with Parfait Chunky, they turn out like this big. They're so cute. I have a short of one, so you can see how big it is. But I sold both of those for $30, so I may do 25 and 30 depending on the 2 different types of yarn. But yeah, I'm really not going to bring much over, over $20 to my next market because it is a trunk or treat, which is going to be mostly kids. So definitely going to focus on the smaller things this go time around and restocking all of that because I got some restocking to do. So that's a wrap. But thanks for watching. When I recorded this little bit, I had 700 followers, which is just so crazy. So thanks for everyone subscribing. I hope to provide some helpful content to everyone. I know when I was starting out, I was curious about markets and what sold well, and while I'm market prepping, I just like to, you know, watch other people's recap videos or get new ideas, kind of bounce ideas off other people. So I hope this is helpful or entertainment to you if you do not crochet. But please leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite item was, or, you know, tell me you're surprised at what sold, or if you thought that's what was gonna sell. But yeah, don't forget to like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.